And violence against Hindus continues unabated in Bangladesh. A 30-year-old youth, Amrit Mondal, also known as Samrat, was killed by a mob on Wednesday night in Rajabari district over alleged extortion. Police rescued him in critical condition, but he died at Pangsha Upazila Health Complex around 2 a.m. Authorities arrested his associate, Muhammad Salim, and recovered firearms. Samrat was reportedly a gang leader with multiple criminal cases, including murder. The incident occurred when locals caught him attempting to extort a villager, prompting a mob attack. An investigation is ongoing. All right, DD India's Naval Sangh Parmar joins us on the phone line from Dhaka for more. Naval Sangh, what is the current situation on the ground in Bangladesh following the recent incidents of violence?
In last 1 week or in 10 days, many things happens in Bangladesh, and particularly the violence against the media as well as the minority community, and that has raised the eyebrow of the many independent observers in Bangladesh. And still now they were fearing to speak against the Yunus administration, as the administration led by Yunus has arrested many journalists. Some of them are still in jail and under the pretext of various criminal cases like Anti-Terrorist Act, and some of them also have been killed. So there was a kind of fear among the media person. But on the 18th December, there was a attack on Daily Star and Prathamalo, and then after media become more vigilant, and they become more critical to the Yunus administration, and they got support from the international community. So the independent observer or the civil society member also become emboldened, and they are now criticizing the Yunus administration for its failure. So that is the latest development, and the law and order situation was very pathetic. Still, it is not improved, but there is a kind of pressure on the Yunus administration that they forced to take resignation of, however, it is mentioned that the Mohammed Khudabaks Chaudhry, the assistant in Home Affairs Advisory of Dr. Yunus, he was very close to Dr. Yunus, and he was an earlier police chief. He resigned from his post, and the reason is the failure in the law and order situation. So it is very clear that Yunus administration is under heavy pressure. And yesterday there was a return of Tarique Rahman, BNP's acting chairman, and he got BNP got a huge response in his reception function. More than 1 million people took part in the event, and it has changed the narrative in Bangladesh now. So those who were sitting on the fence, whom to support or whether to stay away from the electoral process in Bangladesh, but some independent sources is saying that the event in last week and the arrival of Tarique Rahman may tilt people's opinions toward the BNP. We can say now the BNP is having a fair chance that if the election will happen, and if Awami League is not contesting, then it will give a good benefit to the BNP.
All right. Also, Naval Sangh, Sheikh Hasina, in her Christmas message, has in fact accused the interim government of seizing power illegally and highlighted rising attacks on minorities. Can you tell us more about her statements, and what actually do they reveal about the current political and the situation in Bangladesh?
Well, in Bangladesh, minority is subjected to atrocity irrespective of the government, whoever was on power. In last 1.5 years, the intensity of and the frequency of attack have been increased. In previous regime also there were there were a land grabbing of the minority by the ruling party leaders, and it is being said by the independent sources that during the last 20 years, maximum land grabbing attempts have been occurred and from the minority people. So this is the scenario in Bangladesh. Political parties are very much involved in the kind of atrocity on the minority. So it is the case who is in power. It is indifferent. But there are cases of violence and the atrocity against the minority. Second thing regarding the illegal grabbing of power, it is true that in Bangladesh it is a history that the change in regimes happens on the street, not by the ballot but by bullet. So in last 30 years it happens. Only one or two incidents where the electoral process was responsible to change in power, and that was the time when there was a caretaker government system. In fact, if we go to the history of Bangladesh, then in 1996, March 1996, there were a important amendment to the Bangladesh constitution, and it introduced the caretaker government system in Bangladesh. After that, in June 1996, first time Sheikh Hasina became the prime minister during the caretaker government system. Then after BNP took the power in the next election, after that there was a brief period of army-supported caretaker government system, and then Sheikh Hasina again became prime minister. After she became prime minister in Bangladesh second time, she abolished the caretaker government system with the 115th amendment. So last two election, 2024 and 18 election, was boycotted by the BNP, one of the largest political party in Bangladesh. So it was also not a free and fair election. And many independent sources confirm that if the major political party like second or any big political party, if you keep away from the voting, then next election will not be considered as a participatory or inclusive election. So for democratic strengthening of the democracy in Bangladesh, democratic institutions must be strengthened, and it should have been given independence as well as some more power, so they can conduct the election in free, fair, and transparent way.
Right. So the current situation, like you said, Nalsang, doesn't look good in Bangladesh, and elections will happen in February next year. All eyes will be on that. But Nalsang, we'll leave it at that. But please take care of yourself.